What's the deal, my people? You know what it is, Don 20 Teflon, and I'm back at you another one, and this one is Mance Rayder really Rhaegar Targaryen or Arthur Dayne? Now I know that this is a popular fan theory that's been going around for a little bit now, but I have never addressed it. So in this video, that is exactly what we will do. First, we will go through what each of them look like to see if they kind of resemble each other. Mance is a slender man, but broad-chested. He is taller than Rattleshirt. His long brown hair has gone mostly gray. Mance has shrewd brown eyes. Now let's take a look at Rhaegar Targaryen. Rhaegar was tall and beautiful, with dark indigo eyes. His hair was silver, that of House Targaryen. Now last and certainly not least, let's describe Sir Arthur Dayne, who would be considered a stony Dornish man, which means he has fair skin unlike his other countrymen. His hair has been described as pale blonde, dark, or even silver with a streak of black. Danes have been observed with dark blue or purple eyes, so they do have Targaryen features. Arthur Dayne's looks are not pointed out specifically at all. Now I only go by what George R.R. Martin has put in the books, what is validated. I don't make up my own stuff. I don't do anything to suit my story. When I look at this, I would say that there's more chance of Rhaegar being Arthur Dayne than either one of them being Mance. Mance has nothing in common with either of them. And I know how you want to explain that away with the glamoring situation, and we'll touch on that in a little bit, but that's my initial take on the looks. Now the whole Rhaegar being Mance Rayder theory goes like this. Instead of Rhaegar dying to Robert Baratheon on the Trident, he sent Arthur Dayne in his stead. So it was really Arthur Dayne that died at the Trident, and Rhaegar was at the Tower of Joy. That is how I understand this theory to be. Now the problem I have with this theory would be, who did Ned Stark kill at the Tower of Joy? It's obvious he killed somebody. He believed that to be Arthur Dayne. So was Rhaegar glamored as Arthur Dayne? And even so, if he was, let's say he was, he died. Ned Stark killed somebody there. Right? We know this because he goes back to Starfall. That would mean that Howland Reed would have to be a part of this conspiracy. Ashura Dayne would have to be a part of this conspiracy because he brought back somebody's bones to her. Now you might say, oh well, by the time he got there, it was nothing but bones left. Maybe all the flesh had rotted away. But I highly doubt it. But I can understand you saying that if you want to say that. So we'll give you the benefit of that doubt. So you're saying this Grand Master conspiracy that Ned Stark came up with just so that Rhaegar really wasn't killed at this point, but we don't know who this person was that Ned Stark killed. But obviously it couldn't have been Rhaegar because Rhaegar somehow got from this position all the way up to the wall and became Mance Rayder.
Alright, explain this to me like I'm a 2-year-old, okay? Because there's an element to this thing I just cannot get through my thick head.
Now the Arthur Dayne is Mance Rayder situation is equally as baffling to me, because apparently none of this at the Tower of Joy took place. None of this battle happened. Nobody actually died. In fact, all the King's Guardsmen are up at the wall impersonating Night's Watchmen. So what happened to William Dustin? What happened to all the other people Ned came with? Did Ned kill these people? Did he go along with this situation? I just don't understand how it's possible for that to happen. But this is how the story goes. So eventually, somehow, they come up with this plan. Nobody dies, but all these other people disappear somewhere. And the whole King's Guardsmen are impersonating Night's Watchmen up at the wall. And for what reason, I really cannot tell you. So for argument's sake, let's just say that all the lords that Ned Stark came with decided not to go back to being a lord, but they just disappeared somewhere. And let's just say that the people guarding the Tower of Joy instead of just going back to their normal lives, they said, we're going to go to the fucking wall, the coldest place on earth, and we're going to stay up there because we have a job to do. Let's pick up this story from there. So now we must believe that Mance Rayder is glamored, and he is really Rhaegar or Sir Arthur Dayne. So that means, even though George R.R. Martin went out of his way and wrote a whole story for Mance Rayder, from birth to his death, he just did that just to pass time, just to fill in the gaps. So at the end he could say, psych, he's not Mance Rayder at all. He is really Sir Arthur Dayne, or he is Rhaegar Targaryen. And I think y'all been eating something for breakfast, and that is...
Nigga, please. Nigga, please. Nigga, please.
Now we know in the books Mance Rayder is still alive, so let's discuss the glamoring situation. Now we know that Melisandre glamours Mance Rayder as Rattleshirt, the Lord of Bones. So we are saying that if he was Rhaegar Targaryen, that first he was glamored as Arthur Dayne, then he was glamored as Mance Rayder, and then a third glamour was applied that he was the Lord of Bones. And if we are saying that he is Arthur Dayne, then we are saying that first he was glamored as Mance Rayder, and then glamored again as the Lord of Bones. So two glamours apply. No one in this book series that we have ever seen has had double or let alone triple glamour. And I think that HBO gave you a hint of what happens to Mance by burning him, and what happens to the Lord of Bones, also which is Mance in the books. Because if the Lord of Bones was Rhaegar Arthur Dayne, I don't believe that Tormund could whip his ass quite like that. When we see someone glamour themselves, as we do with Melisandre, there is always something there. A ruby. Or when Bloodraven does it, he has a pearl. There is nothing consistent that is along with the character of Mance Rayder to say that he has any glamour on him whatsoever. Next, it is said that when Mance Rayder fights Jon Snow with the longsword, he swings it so fast that it's because he has Dawn in his hands. Which is not the case. Mance Rayder was at the wall.
This was my home for many years.
So when he was there, he most likely fought with a longsword. Beyond the wall, they do not have long swords. So it's probably the first time he had to get his hands on a longsword since he left the Night's Watch. That is why he is able to wield it so good. And Jon Snow is stunned by this because Rattleshirt doesn't look like he should be able to wield a sword that fast. But it's really Mance Rayder. That's why Jon Snow is shocked by it. Now Arthur Dayne and Mance Rayder in the show both say this line, and this is what people think that they are the same person because they said the same line.
I wish you good fortune in the wars to come.
I wish you good fortune in the wars to come.
All this is saying is that they both knew about the White Walkers. That is the war to come. And they're wishing them luck without them being there. That is why they both say this line. If that's the case, how many people said winter is coming? Are they all Ned Stark? I don't think so.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
And winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
There is only one war that matters. The Great War.
So in my opinion, and that's all this is my opinion, is Rhaegar or Arthur Dayne Mance Rayder? This has been a House Teflon Breaker Alive, and hey, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. A brand new Patreon family tree will be in my next video, so look forward to seeing that if your name is on it. And always support me on Patreon. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe, because you know who it is. It's the Don, Tony Teflon, House Teflon, Teflon 316. We pull the strings. Peace! and stay sexy.